Although this year there are more than 100 universities taking part in this event, we are consistently one of the few universities that want to every year. We would like to start today's session with our first speaker, Ms. Ritika Singh. She is a student who is currently pursuing her second year in Bachelor's in Computer Science. Today she will be talking about why academic integrity matters and the reasons behind its dishonesty.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. I'm Ritika Singh and I'm here to have a talk with you on academic integrity. So we've all grown up basically listening to our mom and dad and our friends talking about how we should not be cheating or copying. And I'm here to discuss about why it actually matters and what are the reasons behind its misconduct. Okay. So I'll start off with a case study that I found out when I was researching. Purdue University in USA, one of a world-renowned university, was caught up in a cheating scandal a few years back. And it was a computer science class of about 450 students, and they were given a simple assignment to basically program a code that would allow a user to visit different web pages. And when these 450 students submitted in their codes, 2 students from those had submitted 100 lines of identical code. And had they cheated or was this a fluke? When the professor looked into their code, he realized that they had cheated due to these 2 lines of code. Boolean equal to true semicolon while exclamation mark done. Now in computing language, the exclamation mark stands for not. So basically they had written not done inside the bracket. This caused their entire program to fail. And they were the only 2 students in that bunch of 450 students whose program didn't work due to this very code. So they had to face serious consequences for their actions. Academic integrity is nothing but honesty in the coursework or the research you do. And why it matters in our lives as students are the reasons that I'm going to be discussing with you. One of the biggest reasons is because we as part of this university uphold the reputation of this university. Whether we follow or not follow intent, academic integrity has a huge impact on the reputation of the university. And not only the reputation of the university, but also the alumni and the quality of education that's being provided. Moreover, following academic integrity will do nothing but only add value to your degree. At the end of the day, we all are going to be graduating from university and will be seeking jobs. Employees want to employ those people who have a high personal integrity and they want to invest in human capital who will have a positive influence on the organization and who they can have trust in. My next point will be about issue of fairness. And following academic integrity eliminates any kind of unfair advantage between students. I've personally been a victim of this when a batchmate of mine had copied my entire code and I had no knowledge about it. It's only later on when I got to know from a friend of mine and it felt like I was cheated on because I had put in so much hard work and effort into this code of mine and she had to put nothing and she just got away with it. And that's where the issue of fairness comes in. Lastly, once you follow academic integrity, you have peace in your mind because you're not doing anything wrong over here. You have no guilt at the back of your mind. There's no unnecessary stress that you have to be worried about. And moreover, it builds your moral character. People will want to work with you because you're honest, you're fair, and they know your work is good. So I've just discussed with you about why academic integrity plays a huge role in our lives. But many times we often forget to discuss as to even though students know all of this, they still tend to get involved in academic dishonesty activities. And next time we're discussing with you about the reasons as to why they get involved in these activities. So firstly, they have a pressure to succeed. Many students feel they're pressurized by their family or their friends and they don't want to let down people, they don't want to be a disappointment. So they end up cheating. I think cheating is a way to escape from all of this. Secondly, peer pressure to cheat. So you might even be a good student, but if you have bad influence around you who's forcing you to cheat, eventually you might give in and you'll cheat because you think it's not a big deal. And this also leads to my next point about losing your status. Now this could be for 2 cases. Firstly, you might be an HE student and you don't want to lose that status. So you think, so even if you haven't studied for an exam or anything, you think students tend to become so lazy and have no time management skills. At the end, they say they have no time to study for the exam and they cheat. So students tend to have this "it's okay to cheat" mentality, and they perceive it as a victimless right? Another case study that I found was of Southern University, again in America, and they were involved in a great cheating scandal. Now, this was also a few years ago, where about 541 students who got changing their grades. They had paid a worker who was working in the registrar's office, and she was paid $100 for changing each grade. 541 students, minimum of 2 subjects, okay? $100 for each grade. Imagine the amount of money she had done. So this is one of the examples that states that academic dishonesty is not just limited to cheating or copying. There is so much more. There's misrepresentation, there's fabrication, there's academic misconduct, there's so much more to this. All in all, I would like to say that academic integrity will only bring good, it will only do good to your career, and at the end of the day, it's us who's going to have a degree in our hand. None of us want a black mark on that degree. If you know someone or if you are indulged in any of these activities, it's the right time to stop and speak about it. You're not going to be the choice for the winner. You have the people. Thank you.
Let's just go back to that first very interesting quote that you showed us, right? Anybody from IT here other than her? 3. All right. So have you guys come across anything like this? So do you think it would be easy or difficult to find cheating in coding subjects? No idea?
Not usually.
Not usually? It's not difficult or it's difficult?
It is sort of difficult. It depends on the difficulty of the question. Because if it's an easy question, then
Yeah.
everybody will have identical code.
Right.
So one person will just give the answer to everybody and we should never find out.
Right.
But if it's something hard where you need to keep track and move things around,
Yeah.
at that point, it is
Right.
as
So that's very interesting. Those of you who are not from IT, let's just quickly talk about your subjects. What are your subjects? Yeah?
Marketing management.
Okay, anybody from marketing? All right, so what kind of cheating would you normally see in a marketing course? Project-wise? Text-based? Okay.
No, not text-based. I think it's because most of our projects are theory-based.
Yeah.
We can just look at what our seniors have done and we
Right.
could probably copy-paste the exact same thing onto there.
Right.
Use paraphrase.
Now, say you didn't do that and you put in your effort and you did the work, but you know your friends are doing that. They've reached out to their seniors and they're using that work. And then they end up getting D's and HDs. How would that make you feel? Cool. Be so chill about this whole thing. How about you guys? Marketing?
There is one thing in looking at the work and getting an idea how to
Yeah.
do it. But you can't really copy paste the entire project because
Right.
it's going to be different and plagiarism turn it into an example.
Right.
So, but if they are just using the same thing and changing words, it kind of creates, of course, ways of
Okay. How about if it was your own project? Let's say you did a subject in marketing and then you had advertising and you used the same project, you just pushed it up a little and then you resubmitted the whole thing again to another subject. Would that be okay? You said why not? Okay.
Yeah, it is your own work.
It's your own work. What did you say now?
I don't know. I think it depends on the different subject that you're doing as well.
Okay.
And then exact process. You can use it. When you have when you have a situation where you don't use it.
That's a good question. When is the situation when you wouldn't reuse your own work? Let's say you've been given an assignment in marketing subject, right? You are supposed to use Kotler's 5 P's, okay? And you did the project. Then you went into services marketing, and then you yet again had to look at the 5 P's, right? So would it be natural to expect students to reuse their work from the previous subject if they've done it? Yeah, naturally, right? When does it stop being just using my work and plagiarizing? When does it stop being my work and it becomes plagiarism?
When you don't paraphrase it again.
When you don't give that acknowledgement that this work was done in a previous subject, but I have extended it in order to cater to the learning objectives of the new subject. Otherwise, it's actually something called self-plagiarism. And that also turned into a pickup. Okay, this is just a little heads up for those of you who didn't know that. Thank you once again. I will hand it back to Eric.
Very good afternoon. Myself Mohammed Shafiq, and I'm working as a research librarian in library department. First of all, I would like to thank committee members, Dr. Sinha and Irene and others for inviting me to give a talk on the topic, the role of academic integrity and the role of librarians. As Kritika mentioned, it's about the academic integrity is based on honesty. So there will be some ethical values we need to follow. So before that, we'll see the definition what exactly the academic integrity is. It says the honest and ethical manner in which academic work is done, whether it is an assignment, an examination, or a presentation, or any research work which you want to do. In that, for the ethical things, you need to have a core values like honesty, trust, fairness, responsibility, respect, and courage. When we say you need to have all these qualities, certainly you will ask us what sort of resources we are providing to follow these values, to finish your assignments, to finish your examinations. Obviously, you will be having a question, right? Saying that what sort of resources library and librarians provide. So for that, first of all, we'll see the role of libraries, how libraries involved to help you out for this one. We provide print material like 44,000 print material, which is books and journals, magazines we have, and also we have online catalog and more than 500 database we subscribe. For your assignment, you can make use of this database, and also we have more than 100,000 e-journals and 180,000 e-books. And not only this, most of you will be having doubts how to start an assignment, right? What sort of format we need to follow. For that, we have sample papers available online, like whether it is an exam papers or assignments or any cases you want to have as a sample. So the main thing is to avoid the plagiarism, right? Because to maintain the honesty, you need to avoid the plagiarism. For that, how you will combat that one? For that, from library we are giving you the research support, like where to start exactly. That is called Start Smart. If you can see on the screen on the left side, the first one is Start Smart. In that, all the necessary guides are available. How to start your assignment, what sort of referencing you need to use, and what sort of information and from where exactly you get that information. All that information is available as a guide. So after that, once you start the assignment, what you need to do is you need to do the research work. For that, you need some online resources. In traditional days, they used to follow on print material, but now since it is a digitized environment, so we have database and journals. So you'll look towards the database and you will do the research to get the articles, quality articles. So apart from the database, you can get the articles from e-journals. Once your assignment is done, once your writing part is done, you may have a doubt that whether the assignment is in correct format, whether the grammar is correct or not. For that, UOWD Australia has come up with Studiosity. When you, once your assignment is done, you can upload that document to Studiosity. A bench of faculty members are there who will go through your document, and within 48 hours, they will get back to you with necessary modifications if any required. After that part is done, then the referencing part will come. Because if you are not giving the loyalty to the author, certainly you will get the plagiarism. So for that, we have a database called EndNote. So EndNote you can store your references in EndNote, and you can copy, you can in-text from EndNote itself, and you can give the references. So for that we conduct special class like orientations we conduct for EndNote. Those who are interested always can come. Once your assignment is done, then you need to certainly upload the document to the Turnitin to check your plagiarism. Now, what is the role of librarians in this? We are providing, as a library, we are providing the database and journals, but how to do and how best you can work on that particular topic by using the research skills. We need to teach you, right? For that, we conduct orientations, like we come to your class and we give orientation on the research skills. And also we conduct library workshops. In library computer lab, we conduct workshops. Apart from this, those who want one-to-one session, like they prefer individual session, they can always come to us, book the librarian for one-to-one sessions. And also we help for your research, like if you want to download one article and you're not able to get that article from a particular database or journal, in that case you can always send that article title to us. We will download that one and we will send it to you. It's for free of cost. If you follow all these things, then definitely you will not encounter any plagiarism, and you will be in that what we are actually discussing about academic integrity. You will not breach the academic integrity policy, and you can at the end your projects get the better result, best result. With this I conclude, and once again I thank the committee member for inviting me. Thank you.
Questions for sir?
I would like to answer if you have any questions.
So how many of you visit the library? Maybe we should start with that, right? Like everyone. So you guys know exactly how to find a book, how to find an article if you're looking for? Not articles, but books. Books are easy because they're physical. But how about articles? If you had to actually go online and look for something, would you know how to do that? No. How many of you don't know how to do that? So maybe it's a good thing he's given this talk, because he's actually talked about all the services that the library provides. And they happen, the workshops are happening on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, sometimes in months. But every semester, the library actually has workshops that they're doing, right? So then it becomes a little bit your responsibility to find out when they're doing it so that you can go and attend it. Because guys, it's not just for now or for the subjects that you're doing now. Even in the future, if you plan to do a master's or maybe someday PhD, you're going to need these skills, and it kind of starts right now, right? And UOWD has a fantastic library and a fantastic library staff, and they really are very, very helpful. I've done my PhD here. I had 700 citations, right? References that I had to use. I would have gone mad if I didn't have the support of the library. They taught me everything I know about EndNote and citations and referencing and how to track it, all of those things. So they're really good. When I tell you that, I talk from personal experience, right? So think about it. If you don't know any of the things that he's talked about, please make it a point to just visit the library and ask for help. Because besides the scheduled work, they also do one-to-one sessions. So again, if you need that kind of support, you can go and tell them and they will do it, and they're happy to help, right? So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I believe most of you all here already know me. I'm the student council of the university. Right? Hi. Yeah. Okay. So I believe that every aspect always has psychological effects. And of course, today we are here to talk about integrity. And of course, we have had amazing speakers who already covered what is integrity, why it is important. Right? So let's understand how it can affect you, psychologically, how it can affect you as a person. Because many times when we do it, we don't understand. We just feel like, oh, it's as simple as, yeah, okay, I'm just getting my work from somebody else, or I'm just copying somebody's work, and it's temporary, right? But what happens is many a times it just becomes a habit. And we understand that when we do often the same things over and over again, like brushing our teeth, it becomes a habit, right? We do it every morning, we do it every now and then. So probably we have this idea of, okay, I'll do this once and I'll be done, and I'm just doing it now because I have so much work and I'm overloaded, and let me just do it this one time. And there you are, you kind of fall into that habit or the pattern, you know. Pattern is actually the right word to use, because it's like every single time you approach it the same way. So it's very important to understand, what is that doing to you? What is that pattern doing to you? That pattern is affecting your level of patience. Very, very important. Something that we are lacking day by day, right? So there are a lot of factors that is affecting our patience. Imagine now you're adding on to another factor, you know, and it will affect your patience levels to a very great degree. And you know why? Why am I saying this? You know, it'll be like, oh, that's contract cheating. And what is patience to do with contract cheating? It is something as simple as, when you are putting in work, you're doing research, you're putting a lot of effort, you're putting in your hard work, right? You probably make a draft. So there is a lot of work that is involved which is helping you to be patient, right? Now when somebody else does that for you, or you just copied it from somebody else, that aspect is gone. You've not worked on your level of patience. Okay? Now we already have technology that is affecting our patience levels, and that we have done of research on that already. But that's sometimes unavoidable because we live in a digital world and we need technology, right? But contract cheating is very much avoidable, right? It's not required. We're not benefiting from it in any which ways. So why do it? Why do we want to affect ourselves so much? Another psychological effect that it can have on us is our self-esteem. It really affects our self-esteem because it makes us believe that we're not capable enough of doing that work. You know, and that's massive. Self-esteem is huge. Most of the psychological illnesses that we have, one of the major reasons is low self-esteem. So many a times when we look down on ourselves, we might choose of the escape of getting our work done from somebody else, or just copying it from somebody else's work, right? So it's very important that we maintain our self-esteem, because in the long run, it is going to affect us. It is going to affect how we see ourselves. When you graduate, it will remind you of how you're not completely capable of your degree that you're holding. And that's not a good feeling, because I know graduation day is a really, really happy day for everybody. And obviously, you're putting in so much effort for that day, right? So imagine when you're going up there, you're getting your certificate, and it just doesn't feel like it belongs to you. Why? Because your self-esteem's been affected with all the work that has been copied or been done by somebody else. So it's very important for us to understand that there are long-term effects to what we do, right? Another psychological effect is, of course, if our patience is affected, our hard work will get affected. The amount of effort we want to put in will get affected. Us wanting shortcuts will be wanted more, okay? So, okay, imagine that it's been happening in university and you graduate. What will happen in real life? What kind of contract cheating can we do there, you know? Imagine you choose to be a professor. I mean, you have to go to classes prepared, right? There's a lot of hard work involved. Now, what will happen is, with low self-esteem and lack of patience, can you believe what a person will do with their job? It's going to affect your day-to-day activities at your work. You will not want to put in the hard work. You wouldn't have the patience to research. And you'll be very impatient with yourself. That will again hamper your self-esteem even further, which can cause major psychological problems. You know? So we need to understand that something as small as contract cheating can have massive psychological effects on us. So next time, whenever you have the smallest idea of, you know, let me just a bit copy a little bit, or, you know, let me do 50% and gather 50% from somewhere else. Remember, you're taking away 50% of your patience level, 50% of your self-esteem away, and you're creating more problems for yourself. That's like more than 50%, right? So sometimes we feel like it is something very small, and you know it's not going to affect us. But then we have to be careful of the pattern that it creates into our lives. And that's something we have to be very mindful about. And mindfulness is something that we're really lacking nowadays. We don't know what we've eaten for lunch sometimes, or how fast we ate our lunch, or with whom we ate our lunch, or how tasty was our lunch, right? So I feel like it is very important for us to understand that we need to be mindful about how things can affect us in the long run. It just feels like it's very simple, it's very easy, right? But it can affect us in a massive way. Before I end my session here, I want to talk about procrastination, because we had her, she spoke about procrastination, and I in my practice I hear this word like almost every day, right? Frankly speaking, when somebody comes to me and says, oh my God, I procrastinate, my biggest problem is I'm a procrastinator, I always say that it's a mask you're hiding behind. Just like lazy. I'm lazy. Lazy is a mask. There is a reason. There's a reason why we don't want to do something. There's a reason why we are pushing something away. Until we find out what that reason is, you're not going to start your work, and obviously you're going to procrastinate. So what else do you expect from yourself? So instead of just tagging yourself as a procrastinator and a lazy person, ask yourself, what is making me not start? What am I so afraid of? Right? Many a times our internal themes that our life is progressing by, they flash in front of us. Right? So many a times we have themes like, oh, I'm not good enough. Or we have themes like, I cannot do it well. Perfectionism gets into the way. Or it has to be the best. My friends will do a better job. So these are all thoughts that can cause that procrastination or that laziness. So next time, whenever you're calling yourself a procrastinator or you're calling yourself lazy, instead of hiding behind those masks, stop yourself and ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Because when you will start doing that, that's when you'll actually give up. If you're into contract cheating, you'll actually give up. And I feel like that was very important for you all to know. Because many a times we just feel like, oh, I'm just lazy. I've always been this way. What has led to you always being that? We need to break that cycle. We need to break that pattern. Right? So it's not that you're not capable, and you are thinking that you're not capable. It's not that you're lazy. You could be having thoughts which are not letting you begin. You're having thoughts which are making you feel like, I'm not good enough for this project. This project is above me. Oh, it's a very tough one. Right? So it's very important for us to understand that we will have challenges like this that will come our way. Some projects might be a bit tougher or challenging than the others, but we can always start with the idea of imperfection at first. So I always divide procrastination into 2 steps, like how you can deal with it. Step 1 is a draft. Tell yourself that I'm not going to think about doing it well. I'm not going to think about being perfect. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Once you have done it, you can proofread. You can make whatever necessary changes. If you feel research is not enough, you can add more research. And of course, like the library is also full of so many resources. If you feel like you've not done enough, you have enough time, right? So I feel like you will be able to do better if you don't pressurize yourself of doing things really, really well, just at the very beginning. Like I recently met a student who said that, she wants to start writing a novel. She's really good at it. But she wants it to be as good as the author she's reading currently. And it's only when we got into talking that she realized that that book that she's reading of this author would probably be 1,000 book of that person. Maybe 100 books that he had written were not even published. So imagine the amount of pressure sometimes that we put on ourselves. So it's very important for us to understand that pressure equals to a lot of performance errors or performance pressure. So just try to keep your pressure at very minimum so that you can work on your project first and then improvise. Okay? Right? And of course, time management is very, very important. And I'm pretty sure as you all are managing every semester, you all are managing your time very, very well, right? So I don't want to talk more about that. Okay, doesn't look like. Right? But yeah, I mean, I feel like we all have this ability to understand ourselves, and based on how we know ourselves, we will work accordingly. And we will know exactly when to start. So for that, self-esteem, again, is very important. So please make sure that, you know, you're always looking out for yourself. Thank you so much. And,
Questions? No? Anyone? So what she said about self-esteem, guys, and knowing yourself is very, very important. And I think a lot of times that's where the problem starts. Because we just assume we put ourselves in a box, because that's how we think everybody sees us. And that's it. We cannot get out of that box, right? And once you think that, it becomes very difficult for you to pull yourself out of that. And if you manage to do that, it's actually called bootlegging, where you kind of pick up your own weight and you kind of get out of it. But if you manage to do that, that's your first step towards success. So I think that was a wonderful talk that you gave us about mindfulness. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, my name is Aditya, and thank you Atar for introducing me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I'm going to be talking about contract cheating in university, and I'm going to be doing something slightly different today. I want to talk about my personal experiences with contract cheating that's happened in my life, as well as I'm going to just explain why contract cheating occurs, etc. So before I start, I just need a volunteer to help me out. I want them to read a piece of paper that I have here. Anybody? I'll just call someone at random. Jacob, come here. Can you read this out for everybody?
High quality academic consultant for any course, assignments, project, essays, writings, etc. Available 24/7 for super discounts. Contact us at.
Okay, so what you just heard is not something I randomly printed on a piece of paper. It's actually what I found in the student lounge yesterday. Believe it or not, I mean, there were like 10-15 of these just lying in the lounge, and it was like an opportunity that I didn't want to miss, so I brought it over here. So basically what this was is somebody marketing their services out to do your assignments for you. And it sounds all fancy and they have discounts and everything, so if anybody's interested, just let me know, I'll give you that paper. And before I continue with what exactly I'm going to be speaking about as in my personal experiences, I will first talk about what contract cheating exactly is. So, does anybody know what contract cheating is? I mean, we've had Ms. Jocelyn already speak about it, but if there's anybody who wants to help bring it out again, that'd be cool. Anybody? Truman? What is contract cheating?
It's not good.
Okay, so contract cheating basically is a form of academic dishonesty in which students pay others to complete their coursework. So the difference between just cheating and contract cheating is obviously the word contract, the form of payment that's involved in this. And obviously, I mean, it's easy for a lot of people to just say, oh, okay, I have enough money, I'm just going to pay my way through university. But it's never going to help you, is it? Before I continue, let's get to the story. So this happened in my first semester, yeah? I was just done with uni and I was with my friends outside between block 14 and 15, and we were sitting on the benches there. And we were just sitting and talking, and this random dude just came up to us and he was like, oh, hi, are you guys in university? Are you studying here? And I was like, yeah. And he just asked us like, is university hard? Are you finding it difficult? And that was obviously kind of weird to us. We're like the strangers coming up to us and asking us about uni. But we were like, no, I mean, it's okay. It's not hard, it's not easy. And he's like, oh, if you have any difficulties, just let me know. And I was like, why? And he just handed over his business card to me. And he's like, oh yeah, we offer all sorts of services to you guys. We help you do your assignments, we make presentations for you, we do your research papers. So, I mean, all of us just looked at ourselves and laughed, and we were like, wow, okay, this is happening right outside the uni. But in the end, I mean, we just took the car and chucked it out, and that was the first incident. Naturally, that made me kind of aware of the fact that, okay, this is not just something that you go and approach people, but people actually come and approach you. And it's like they're constantly coming to you, and it's like that temptation, you know? And so that event happened, and nothing, I just moved on from it. And then a few weeks later, or something like that, I think all of us maybe have had this experience where on your Instagram pages, you have all these study accounts just following you. And it's so weird, like they just randomly follow you, they don't say anything, they don't do anything, but they have it in their caption and everything saying, oh yeah, we help you with your assignments, are you finding uni hard? And it happens to come exactly when we have all our submissions. So that's temptation part 2. Moving on, I'm going to be talking about the implications of contract cheating now. So, how does contract cheating affect you? Firstly, I think the biggest thing, I mean something that everybody should probably already know when they're doing this, is that besides, okay, you're cheating your team, you're cheating your peers, you're cheating your teachers, you're cheating yourself. Because the entire point of university is for you to learn how to do your research, and how to do your work, and how to sit and struggle. Because right now, what we think is super, super hard, it's just going to get a lot harder when we're working. And imagine learning all the stuff that you're learning right now in an office when you have like the deadline of completing something in a week. You can't go and give that out to somebody else. You're like, that's corporate espionage. You're just giving them information on what's happening in the business. So that's a lot worse. So you're cheating yourself. Secondly, this is another incident that I wanted to talk about. It's about how your team members feel cheated. So personally, I took one of the subjects and I had a team of like 4 or 5 people. And the entire point of the subject was we had essays, etc. And in the first week of university, we were told that we had to complete one essay. And it was given to us in the first week, and it had to be completed by week 12, so the end of the semester. And all of us, okay, in the first class, we were just made to divide ourselves into groups and give each person their part, etc. And by the next week, we just discussed that, okay, we'd come back with some ideas on how we want to proceed. So imagine my surprise when in week 2 I came back and one of my group members had finished the entire essay. And not just his part, everybody's part. And he came to us and told us, yeah, this is it. So we asked him why he did our part, and he was like, oh no, I didn't do your part, I just got some ideas, so I wrote them down. So we're like, wow, we have a great group member here. And obviously we still didn't have any idea where this essay was supposed to be headed. Now by week 3 and week 4, we'd already decided, okay, this had to be done, and we told the guy, okay, can you make some changes to this? Because we realized that it wasn't exactly what they told, but it was as if somebody else had just read the brief that was given in our subject outline and had just, stitched something together. So I was like, okay, great. And we asked him to make a couple of changes, and he was like, yeah, sure. And the entire time in the class, all we had to do was make those changes, and he did absolutely nothing. He just sat there and he was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And he was sitting on his phone and whatever, and we were like, okay, he's getting his work done, it's fine. But when we came back, like maybe we left that day, and the next day on WhatsApp, we get, again, the entire thing reworked. And it was like, okay, cool, you're doing your work faster than everybody, that's awesome. And, but by the end of like week 8, we somehow, like me and another group member, we sort of figured out something fishy was going on, because it felt like he wasn't involved in the class, and when we asked a couple of questions about the essay, he had no idea what was written in his own section, let alone somebody else's part. So naturally that made us worried, because we didn't want our marks to be gone. It's okay, he's doing his own thing, we don't want to rat him out, it's just how we are. But we were worried about our own marks, so we went to the teacher and we asked her, is it individually graded or is it a group assignment? And she said, yeah, don't worry about anything as long as it's your own part. So that was like an entire breath of relief. But the entire reason why I'm telling you this is because, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I personally felt it. It was scary for me. Because I was like, this is an entire section of our report that could be from anywhere, it could make absolutely no sense, and the person who's doing it has no idea whether it's correct or not or anything. And just think about it, say you give your assignment, fine, you have the money, I mean, you want to do it, somebody came to you, they said they'll do it for $50, great. But you gave something to somebody, they did it for you, the amount of time you're going to take to actually make sure that what they've done is correct is probably going to end up becoming 3/4 of the time that it took you to do that same assignment. So what would you rather do? Would you rather do it yourself, or would you spend your money, give it to somebody else, and spend almost the same amount of time making sure? And what if you get caught? So in our university, we have a lot of policies regarding making sure that your academic conduct is on point. So obviously we have Turnitin, which is fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure all these agencies know how to get past it. But firstly, your professors will know based on your participation in the class. So if you're a weak student and you've just gotten some amazing thing, sure, it's not their job to doubt you, but they would also have a question in their mind like, is this really true? And you could get a complete F for the subject over one assignment. You could get expelled, there are fines. There's a lot of policies. So you're unnecessarily risking your own position in the university. So probably you should just stay away from it. And yeah, I think that's about it for me as a person and for what I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know.
I don't know where to start. Okay, so as lecturers, we always hope our students are going to obviously do their own assignments, right? And we have an estimation that yes, I'm sure somebody in the class is copying and pasting, somebody in class may be getting a friend to do their work. But no, when you hear stories like this, it's scary because exactly why you said that, because you don't know where that quality of work is coming from. That's the first thing. But then the second thing is, we're doing all of this to hope and impart knowledge to you guys so that when you graduate, that certificate means more than just a piece of paper. When you go to the job market, that certificate is telling your bosses that you know your stuff. Now, if you manage to get all your assignments done by the third party and then you get a degree, effectively you've learned nothing. You might think that's okay. You might have heard from people that's okay, but it really isn't. Because sometimes, somewhere down the line, you're going to get caught, right? And if you hear stories about scandals of how people had no idea what they were doing in their offices, or they were caught cheating or doing something else, it's because they didn't have the knowledge that they should have graduated with. And what ContractCheating does is actually deprive you of that chance to get that knowledge from that subject. So I think that was a fantastic example. Thank you so much for maybe a little bit scaring us, but for bringing this into the light. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, guys.
So for us, and going on and on with one very important thing, which I think is very, very crucial for all human beings to understand, that anything that we have has to be used in some form or shape. And our mental power is so wonderful. And if we don't use that mental power for what we are supposed to, then obviously we deprive ourselves from growth. And growth is mental growth and spiritual. So technically speaking, I always think that if we as human beings would know that education has nothing got to do with just learning something and writing about it. It has to do with much more than that. It has to do with how much are we able to read between the lines, think about outside the box, think about things that are actually not given to us. And unfortunately, if we human beings are not going to try to look into what we don't know, we will never be able to do things differently. So if you think about research, for example, chapter from the library comes every single semester showing our students, and my students, especially in the class, having the research, how to conduct research and how to find sources in the library. Now, the point is that if students themselves do not have the urge to find the information, it's just not going to happen. It doesn't matter how many workshops we organize, it doesn't matter how much we try, it doesn't matter how much I go into explanations or anything, nothing is going to happen. So, let me tell you one thing. If you are driving, who's driving? Who drives? Excellent. So if you are driving and all of a sudden you are stuck in the traffic, what are you going to do? Just think about it. Let's say you have half an hour time to reach Knowledge Village and you are stuck somewhere in, well, if you come from Abu Dhabi, I guess you can. So if you come from Abu Dhabi All right? And you only have half an hour time to reach Knowledge Village. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Freak out? Besides that? Panic? Besides that? What else are you going to do? Well, first thing, you have to make sure you don't hit the guy in front of you. So you just have to keep being positive. And the second thing is you have to try to find an alternative. Alternative means exit somewhere where you may be able to, at some point, reach elsewhere and then from there move towards the destination, right? So, the first thing that you did, was it critical or analytical? The first thought, the thought that you say that, okay, I'm stuck in this traffic, it's not going to change, I need to find an alternative. Is that critical or analytical? Critical. So what you do is, you're just trying to find a solution to your problem. And then you have to analyze the possibilities. So once you get that exit, then you start carrying on with analyzing. Meanwhile, you know you are progressing. You are not stuck. You know that you are moving forward. All of it is research, and all of it is human life. I mean, whatever we do here in the uni is not different from what we do outside. If we are not critically thinking outside, how can we think here? I mean, even when we have guests at home, we have to think about how many people are going to come. And if they don't show up, what are we going to do? So all of it goes under all of these. So you think about, where am I going to find a solution? What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of this exit or that exit? Where is it going to take me? And the most important thing, you just don't panic. Why? Why don't you panic? I mean, generally you wouldn't. Because you're trying to find a solution. You're trying. So you're trying your best. And if you try your best, you'll eventually succeed. You're not just sitting there thinking that, oh God, what's going to happen, this one or that one. No, you're trying to progress. So the very same thing works with the research. What you do in research is you analyze all of it. And the only difference between the research and the real life is, I mean, in the real life, we will do the critical and analytical thinking, and in research, we are just going to do the same critical and analytical thinking. Now, I want you for a minute to think about which one of these do you actually have. These are skills that we, human beings, need to develop during our life cycle. It doesn't matter how long or short our lives are. We need to be here. We are not born with these. We have to develop these. And it's our choice to let them be developed. If we don't bother to think about developing them, they'll never come there. No way. Absolutely. If you look at all the, well, basically all the wise people that have ever lived, they had them all. They were able to go beyond their own assumptions. And they were able to have confidence in their reasoning. What Jocelyn said about self-esteem is just so important. Because when you're stuck in the traffic, that patience, the lack of patience is because you think that I do not have a choice. You always have a choice. Absolutely. There's always the possibility of having a choice. The thing is that you have to try. Unless you try, then the choice is not yours. It's going to be for someone else because exits are everywhere. But it's not going to be of any help. Now, if you think about research, one very important thing which I consider very crucial actually is these ones, all these intellectual traits. They're all part of research. Just like you said that unless the students try very hard, and not only students by the way, all of us, unless we try very hard to persevere, we'll never reach anywhere. I mean, it's so easy to just say, I give up. It's just so difficult. I mean, why should life be so difficult? Why should uni be so hard? Just let it be. So perseverance is the first. And unless we have integrity, it's not going to come. Absolutely. So we won't be able to reach our destination unless we think that, well, I've tried my best, and if I fail, it's fine. I don't think there is perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. All that exists in this life is you try hard and you learn as you go on. And that's it. Perfection is elsewhere. We're not here for perfection. No lecturer or tutor expects perfection whatsoever. All what we expect is clarity, logic, and integrity. That's all. All right? So that's all. So any questions?
Very interesting take on mindfulness, but from a very critical thinking perspective. Like we're still talking about mindfulness. Most of these actually, like you want accuracy, you want significance,
absolutely,
you want
absolutely.
integrity.
But you're trying to develop the
You're
thought.
developing that thought. And what she said at the end was so amazing that, failure, we are always afraid of failing and we think there is no way I can risk not doing this subject or assignment well. But, what if I fail to do the assignment and then I'm going to lose out? But so what? So what if you fail that one assignment? What happens? My first academic life started with failing in my first grade. I got a 0.
There we go.
And you won't believe it, throughout my life, it was, in a way, the label helped because I was so underestimated. Everybody said, don't expect that out of her, she's failed, in first grade. So every time I did something, it was such a big accomplishment because, she had failed in her first grade, but now she's here, and then she's here, and then she's here. So, it actually helps, put things into perspective. And again, the thing going back to failure and not giving up. I started teaching in 2001. From 2004, every year I submitted an application for teaching excellence. 2014 was when I finally got the award. But every single year, from 2004 to 2014, I put in an application. I didn't get disheartened when I didn't get it. When some people got it twice or thrice, continuously. But I was like, hey, I'm doing my part. I'm going to put in that application. It doesn't matter if I don't get it. So that concept of perseverance and failure, they go hand in hand, right? It's okay not to get that HD every time. It's okay if you haven't managed that grade that you've really been working on, because maybe it was just not that semester for you, right? So if you accept that, I think we are anyways going to eliminate the whole concept, worry of misconducts, because the whole reason students do it is because they want to finish, right? So very well. Thank you so much for that.